Imagine the leader of a nation, the symbol of an entire culture, walking free after a war that left millions dead. That's the story of Emperor Hirohito of Japan. While countless others faced war crimes trials after World War II, Hirohito remained untouched. But why? Today we're diving deep into the controversial decision to let the emperor walk free, exploring the complex arguments on both sides and the lasting impact of this choice.
Hirohito wasn't just any leader.
He was considered a living god by many in Japan, wielding immense cultural and potentially even political influence.
But his true power during the war is a matter of fierce debate.
Was he a puppet king, powerless to stop the atrocities committed in his name?
Or did he hold the reins of the military, making him directly responsible for the suffering inflicted? The brutality of the Japanese military during World War II is undeniable. From the systematic massacre of civilians in Nanking to the horrific treatment of prisoners of war, these acts left a trail of devastation across Asia.
The question remains, how much did the emperor know, and what, if anything, did he do to stop it? As mentioned earlier, after the war, the Allies set up courts to judge those responsible for war crimes.
However, in a surprising turn of events, Emperor Hirohito was not included in these trials. This decision caused widespread anger and continues to be a topic of debate even today. Arguments against prosecution, a balancing act. Some argue that Hirohito, despite being emperor, held limited real power in the Japanese military during World War II. The military was controlled by a powerful faction within the government, and the emperor may not have been able to prevent war crimes even if he had wanted to. Prosecuting the emperor could have destabilized Japan and hindered the U.S. occupation efforts.
The emperor was seen as a unifying symbol for the Japanese people, and his removal could have led to widespread unrest and resistance.
The U.S. may have prioritized a smooth transition to a peaceful and cooperative Japan over seeking full accountability for war crimes. Keeping the emperor in power, even if it meant shielding him from prosecution, could have served this purpose. There was a lack of legal framework. The concept of war crimes was still evolving after World War II, and there was no established international court with clear jurisdiction to try them. This made prosecuting Hirohito legally complex and potentially problematic. Proving Hirohito's direct involvement in specific war crimes could have been difficult.
The burden of proof would have been high, and the available evidence might not have been conclusive enough for a successful prosecution. Arguments in favor of prosecution, seeking justice.
As the emperor and head of state, Hirohito could be held responsible for the actions of his military under the principle of command responsibility.
Even if he didn't directly order war crimes, his failure to prevent them could be seen as implicit approval.
Charging and potentially convicting Hirohito would have sent a powerful message of accountability for the immense suffering caused by Japanese aggression during the war. It could have served as a form of justice for the victims and their families. Putting a high-ranking leader on trial could serve as a deterrent for future leaders from committing similar atrocities. It would demonstrate that no one is above the law, regardless of their position. A trial could have shed light on the extent of Hirohito's knowledge and involvement in the war, providing a more complete historical record of the events leading up to and during World War II. Some argue that prosecuting Hirohito regardless of the political or strategic considerations, was a moral imperative to uphold international law and hold individuals accountable for war crimes. The decision to not prosecute Hirohito remains a complex and controversial chapter in history.
Understanding the arguments on both sides sheds light on the difficult choices made in the aftermath of war, and the ongoing quest for justice and reconciliation.
What do you think? Should Hirohito have been held accountable for his wartime actions?
Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking historical discussions. If you're interested in learning more about this topic, check out the resources in the description below. Until next time, keep exploring history.